everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope that you are having a fantastic day so far. I hope that wherever you are in the world, today has been treating you well. In today's video, I'm going to be swatching and creating an eye look with the Sinister eyeshadow palette from Cosmic Beauty. I will also be trying out the blushes and the lipsticks that came in the mystery bundle, the mystery box that they launched last month. Well, the pre-order went up last month. If you want to pick this up, however, they are restocking it in a couple of days. They are restocking the whole mystery box on the 29th of November. So if you want to pick this up, they are restocking it on the 29th. You can get your hands on it. There's also a new palette coming, which I am so excited about. I will 100% be purchasing that. So if you want to see a review of that one, that will be coming in December, where I will be posting, hopefully, every single day from the 1st until the 24th. Let's just see how that goes. I'm hopeful, but also being mindful that I don't know. I'm going to try. But today we are getting into the Sinister palette and the blushes and the lipsticks, like I say, but star of the show is this palette. So this is what it looks like. She is beautiful. I really don't have that many reds. I don't know how I feel about reds. I love purples. I also don't really love greys, but there's something about the greys in this that are definitely appealing to me. I love the look of this, so I'm gonna just get on into it. If you want to see the review of this palette and if you want to see the review of the blushes and the lipsticks, give this video a big thumbs up. I'm gonna be getting into it now, and if you want to see more content around Cosmic Beauty, there will be loads more coming. So I say subscribe if you want to see more from me. But let's zoom in and we can start with the swatches. So first up is an incredible duochrome. This one is called Enquiry, and if I just get really close while I talk about this one, it's more of like a topper formula where I feel like it's quite sheer, but when it catches the light, that's almost like holographic. Like I can see every single colour in that shade. It is really, really pretty, but definitely more sheer than like a lot of the other multi-chromes that I've tried before. So pretty though, and like that will go over the top of any of the shades in the palette really, really nicely. I will just neaten up the swatch with a little second layer, but just look at the way that that's catching the light. So pretty. I will also say I do have a few patches on my skin still where I was having quite a bad eczema flare up because I've been a stressed little chicken. But next up we have got two mattes. So this one is Paranormal, which is a light lilac-y grey. I would definitely say that that could sort of be swayed either way depending on other shades that you put with it, but that's a matte, and their matte formula is beautiful. It's really, really nicely pigmented. If you haven't tried the formula before, I think it's fantastic. So that was Paranormal. Then we have got a dark shade, and this one is called Ominous. Oof. I need to neaten these up as I go because there's no way that I am going to be able to swatch these and like show you at the same time. But this one is like, I was about to say plummy, but it's not plummy. It's like an aubergine-y, very, very dark purple, but there's like no warmth in it. But so matte, so dark. Like that could just be a look on its own, could it not? Those three shades could just be a look all by themselves. That would be really pretty. Very pretty. Then next up we have got just like a regular shimmer, but the regular shimmers from Cosmic Beauty are incredible. So that is the shade Chilling, which is the lightest silver shimmer. blinding. Like, she is blinding. So smooth, not chunky, not glittery, just smooth, boiled silver goodness. Then we have got another matte. This one is called Bone. Yeah, and as suspected, that is very, very close to my skin tone. Obviously more of like a grey tone, but very, very light and very close to my skin tone. So that is the whole of the top row. That's what all of those are looking like. Then onto the second row, we've got the shade Creepy, which is a bright purple. Again, these swatches. If only I was like neat enough to be able to do swatches and them not look like actual garbage. I love this shade. Oh, this is so bright. This is the sort of shade that I would just put all over the lid with a big black wing and call it a day. It's so bright and very, very pigmented. And again, that one is a matte. That one was called Creepy. So next up we have got the shade Haunted, which is a purpley toned shimmer, but actually the little glitters in that are quite silver. Like, that would go with the greys really, really nicely. It's definitely a shimmer rather than like a duochrome. I don't feel like it's got any sort of like duochrome-ness to it. That's not the right term, but you know what I mean. It is just those little glitters that are silver. Really, really pretty. Then we have got Cursed, which is a matte, darker purple. I will say I do have a little bit of moisturiser on my skin. That's why these are grabbing a little bit. That shade is just about a bit of me. That is so, so pretty. That is like a smoky wing. I might have to do that today. I love purple. I love purple. So then we have got the shade, did I say that was Cursed? Then the next one is Crypt, which is a mid-toned grey. Again, a matte. Again, grabbing on my skin. But a really, really nice level of depth. Like, it's not too dark. For saying that this is the darkest grey in the darkest grey matte in the palette, I think that that is a really, really lovely shade choice. That's a grey that I would absolutely use. Even me, who doesn't really use greys and cool tones. Then the last shade on the second row is called Menacing, and this is a very, very interesting formula. This feels very different in the pan. It is a shimmer, but it's a lot more subtle than the other ones. Like, I'm trying to get the other ones to catch the light a little bit so that you can see that this one is much more subtle. It's more like a satiny finish. Again, very, very pretty and different. Like, it doesn't feel like any of the other ones. This one, however, like, look at the state of me already. This one, called Sinister. Just wait, let me get really nice and close. Really make sure that I'm in focus. This shade here. Tell me that that is not something special. Like, oh, so pretty. If I like angle my arm a little bit, it's darker and then it's lighter and brighter and pink and gold and like burnt orangey bronzy. Incredible. Incredible. If you want these special shades, Cosmic Beauty is where it's at, like, without a doubt. Without a doubt. These shades are so special. Then we have got another matte. This one is called Damned. This is like a reddy toned. Would you go as far as to say this was burgundy? I maybe would say that. It's got almost like a burnt orangey feeling to it. But definitely red, like definitely a red tone, which incidentally matches my hair quite nicely. I quite like that shade. Then the next three are all very, very pink, which I appreciate. I feel like it can definitely add something special to sort of the cooler tones. So this one is called Strange, a beautiful sort of rosy, mid neutral leaning pink. Like, it's not too dark, it's not too light, it's just right in the middle. Will work for a lot of different people. Then we have got the shade Shiver, which I think is going to be just beautiful. Like, judging it from the pan. Oh, so smooth. Like, so smooth and foily and just reflective pink goodness. So again, if I just angle my arm a little bit so that it's not catching the light of my ring light, and then when it does catch the light, so pretty. Then next up, the last one on the third row, this one is Fear, which is a lighter pink, quite similar to my skin tone, but actually I feel like this would be very useful for someone who's very, very pale like me to like blend out shades and skew them a little bit pink. Like, you could use this one, which was Bone, if you wanted to skew it a little bit more grey, or this one to make it a little bit more pink. But again, really nice, like, pink, neutrally sort of shades. Now we're on to the reds. And I am a little bit scared of the intensity of the pigments in these shades. I'm just wiping my hand in between all of these swatches. So yeah, definitely scared. And I'm not going to be swatching that Ghost shade, like I said, because it's a clear eye gloss. I don't need to show you that one. So these three are all mattes. This is the one that I'm like most scared of. I'm scared it's gonna stain, and like it probably will, because look at the level of pigment on that. Beautiful orange red. This is called Danger. Look at that colour. I mean, considering I don't have a lot of red, that colour is bringing me a lot of joy. I really, really like the look of that. Then we have got the shade, so then it's Ghost, and then we have got the shade Void, which is what I think is going to be quite an impressive matte black. That is a good matte black. Not a lot of brands get black right, and that really is. That is very, very good. Then we have got the shade Nightmare, which, oh yeah, that is pretty as well. I was worried that this was going to be too close to Damned, this one that I said was a little bit more burgundy, but actually that is quite a bit more red and brighter. So it is different. How much use am I going to get out of these bright reds? I don't know. So then the last shade in the palette, this is called Warning, and this feels very similar to this one, which was Menacing, where I said that it feels quite different in the pan. This one feels the same, where it is ever so slightly sort of reflective and sort of satiny feeling, not with any sort of glitter in it and not with any sort of reflect, but just a little bit of like that textural difference that I feel like is quite interesting for like this sort of colour story, where I feel like you could just do like an all red eye look and have those textural differences that will make it look quite interesting. I'm very, very excited to put something together. I don't know what I'm going to do. I never know what I'm going to do. So let's just have a play. I did wash a load of brushes. I say wash. IsoClean, you know the deal. So let's start with a quite small-ish fluffy brush. Let's just do one last close-up of all of these swatches. So that is what all of those are looking like. So I feel like there's definitely like two halves. So this is the first two rows and then this is the second two rows. I love the purples. I love the pinks. The greys I can get on board with. And the reds I just don't know. The reds, honestly, I just don't know because I don't think I have ever had a palette that is so predominantly red. Like there's a lot of red. So I'm gonna have to consider what I'm gonna do here. I don't know what to do. I never know what to do. So what I'm thinking is purples, but then with like either a bright red or a slightly more neutral red, like maybe one of these two reds as like a smoky wing with the purples. This duochrome, because I just think it's incredible. Maybe some of this one like further on the outer corner, but that is quite dark, but definitely like purples. Maybe some of the pinks. I don't know. Let's just, I'm throwing caution to the wind. Is that what they say? Is that the saying, or have I just made that up? I might just be making that up. And I'm just going to go where my heart takes me. So, like I say, starting with a fluffy brush, and I'm going to dip into Paranormal, which was this matte shade, the second one in, and let me get my mirror, my little handheld mirror, and I'm gonna just wiggle this through the crease. And the eye primer that I'm using today is the Beauty Bay eye primer. Honestly, I've just had it and I don't know where I've put it, but you know the one. They've only got one. Yeah, the Beauty Bay one. I put that on, and I've obviously already got my brows on, but I will do my eyes first and then worry about the base, worry about everything else. Everything else can follow after I've done the eyes. That is a really nice like transition-y tone that leans more purple. I feel like you can't see that too much. I can see it. I can see it in real life. I'm just going to take the same brush and I'm going to dip into Strange, which was this one that I said was quite rosy. I'm going to just dip into that one a little bit and keep that like more into the crease. Like I don't want to blend that one out too far. Just give that a little wiggle. More so on like the outer half. I like that shade. That is very pretty. And then I'm just very, very lightly tickling over that top edge with a little bit more of that Paranormal shade. I apologise if you can hear that noise. It's not me. My windows are quite old and they sort of howl when it's windy. It is currently very, very windy outside. I think we're expecting, there's a storm coming. Is it Bert? Is it Barry? Something like that. We're getting a storm. It's windy. There's nothing I can do about it. It's just the house that I'm living in. It's just the house that I'm living in. Very creaky windows. So anyway, I'm getting distracted again. I'm going to take a much smaller, more tapered brush and I am going to dip into, let's dip into Nightmare. This shade. Let's just go there. Let's just go there. If we're going red, then let's do it. I'm going to pack that on the outer corner of the lid. And again, blend it in a little bit. Little tickles. That's a really nice colour though. Like I say, that as a wing, that would be so pretty. I will also say, I haven't checked, but I am fairly certain that it will say on the back of this palette that some of these aren't eye safe. just covering my back there. I believe that some of these will say that they are not safe for use around the eyes. That is because quite often the red pigments do stain. I am fully expecting this to stain. I will be taking it off pretty much immediately after I'm done. But just beware, these probably will stain. It will say that on the back of the packaging, I am certain of it. These like brighter reds, like the deeper reds, that is blending in to that like lilac-y colour so easily. If you've seen my channel before, then you know I have no patience when it comes to blending. I just want it to blend and I don't want to have to do anything. But these are looking real nice with real little effort, which I definitely appreciate. I'm just trying to get them like similar-ish. Similar enough. I'm really not very specific. I just want them to be somewhere close. So I'm going in with another quite tapered brush and I'm going to go into Ominous, which was this shade. Because I feel like black would be too much, but this one, ooh, or maybe the purple. No, yeah, let's go in with the purple. This one, which was called Cursed. I'm going to take that right on the end of that tapered brush and I'm going to keep that right on the outer corner of the lid, and then I will blend over it with that brush that had the red on, just to deepen that up a little bit. I like that. Can you tell that I'm stalling, like I don't know what I want to do? I don't know what direction I want to go in. So I have just added a little bit more of that Nightmare shade, and I'm just going to take my finger and I'm going to dip into that Sinister Duochrome, the darker Duochrome. And if I get, wiggle forwards a little bit, if I get real close, I'm going to tap this like on the middle of the eye and blend it in with those mattes on the outer corner. Oh, that's so pretty. I mean, it is dark, but that is very pretty. Yeah, I've got enough on my finger there for both sides. Ooh, very pigmented, but incredibly smooth and reflective. I actually think quite a light layer of that, just like all across the lid, could look quite nice. This is getting quite dark and quite smoky. I'm not mad. So I'm just going to blend over that top edge a little bit, soften it in with all of those mattes. Yeah, then I'm going to take my finger again and go into Eerie. So this is Eerie, that lightest duochrome, and this was Sinister, the darkest one. So taking Eerie on the inner half, the eye primer is still very much tacky. Oh my goodness, that shade. Oh, that's pretty. See how that has just brightened that up? This is a very pretty shade. Oh, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. So I have just picked up a bit more of that Eerie shade just to like properly pack it on the inner corner. This shade, did I say before? I think I might have said, it's almost like holographic. Like the way that that's catching the light, like I can see so many different colours on that shade on the first half of my eyelid there. That is such a beautiful shade. So pretty. So I'm just going to go back in with that first fluffy brush and just add in a bit more colour, just whatever was left on my brush. Just to add a bit more of that in. I'm just going to go in with a bit more of that Nightmare shade, the red, right on the, just layering it up where it was before, but over the top of those duochromes, just to really intensify that like deep red. I think that this is looking real nice. Ooh. Like I say, I never wear colours like this. Right, so I think I'm gonna just stop fiddling. I'm happy with how that is looking. I'm gonna go off. I am going to clean this up. Probably going to add a wing, a lot of mascara, etc. Do like my base and everything, and then we can come back and try the lipsticks and the cream blushes together. But so far, I am, of course, very, very impressed with the eyeshadow palette. I think that this is, obviously it's the quality that we expect from cosmic brushes, but I'm surprised at how much I am enjoying this colour story. I really, really like it. Okay, so that is the rest of the face done, but I haven't done blush, my under eyes or lips. So let's get into blush because I feel like my face looks wrong without blush on it. Now, in my initial unboxing video where I spoke about the blushes, which already look filthy, by the way, because they're like mirrored. Look how dirty my table is. But they already look dirty. I said in that video that they didn't have the names on them of like what the shades were. That was apparently a misprint, and ones going forward are going to have the names on. So I'm not judging them on that. I am just going to have to go back and watch either my video or somebody else's video and like write on this in like Sharpie what the shade is so that I know. But the one that I want is the one that I just picked up. That was very handy. The like reddy deeper tone. So there was one that was purple, one that was a light pink, and then purple. I don't know how much use I'm going to get out of that, but these two I absolutely will. If I can get into that one. I feel like the deeper one will go with like the purpley red tones that I've already got on my eyes. So I'm going to use this one today. I'm going to use a Real Techniques Expert face brush, and let's dip into this. It doesn't look like crazy pigmented. It does seem sort of like a buildable formula. So let's see. Oh, that colour is pretty, but I definitely got too much on my brush there. Right, let me wipe my brush off quickly before this sets on my face. Okay, so perhaps more pigmented than what I was expecting, but actually that's blending really nicely, and that colour is beautiful. I might just have to bounce over the edges with my sponge to blend that in a bit, because I, of course, went a little crazy. Okay, so I've dialed it down a little, but I love that. I love that formula. That blended out really nicely. I do still feel like it's looking really nice and glowy, which I love. I love that colour. I feel like that goes with the eyeshadow really nicely, but also that is, like, it's not too deep for my skin tone, but also I feel like it could be built up if you were a deeper skin tone than me, which is most people, because I am Casper the Ghost. But I really like that blush. I went overboard. I did too much. But I like that formula. That is very nice. The lipsticks I'm a little bit concerned about, because it says that these are matte, and I am just not usually a matte lipstick lover. I did put a little bit of just a P. Louise lip balm on before I try this lipstick, but I will just blot that down a little bit. I'm trying to decide which shade I want. So this is Salem. I feel like that would be too dark, but then the lighter one could potentially be too light. What do I want to do? I'll go in with the darker one and then maybe put the lighter one like in the middle. Let's do that. So this is Salem. Let's see what this formula is like. I need a mirror that's closer to me. Let's get this one. What do we think of this? Okay, so very creamy. Not the vibe. Very, very creamy. Really comfortable. I would not say that this feels like a matte lipstick. I wouldn't even really say it looks like a matte lipstick. It's like a satiny, sort of quite comfortable feeling, actually. Almost balmy, like quite creamy and hydrating feeling. It feels lovely. I like this colour. I just feel like it's a lot with, you know, this much on the eyes. Is it though? Let's blot it down a little bit. Like, blot it down quite a bit. I feel like a little bit of the lighter one in the middle, and I could actually make this work. So. See, no, but this is more grey. I'm not sure how I feel about the colours of the lipsticks. The formula feels beautiful. I know that they're coming out with a red for the Christmas collection. I'm gonna get that, but I'm just not sure these colours are my colours. Like the lighter one is very like grey toned, and then the mid one is very, I don't know, this just with a wing, like that, just with a wing, nothing else on the eyes, very like flawless full coverage skin, 100%. And then this one, which was like black. I don't know how much use I'm gonna get out of that, but pretty. It's pretty. So let's just finish up under the eyes and then I can be done, because honestly this video is going to be 7 hours long. So I'm just going to take that tapered brush that I used on the Nightmare shade. I'm just going to get a little bit more of that and run that under the eyes, that Nightmare shade, just to bring out a little bit more of that like red tone. That colour is actually really nice under the eyes. Like it's sort of pinky, like a little bit hot pink. I like it. I like that quite a lot. So then I'm just going to take that little brush into a little bit more of that Eerie shade, which is the duochrome that I put like all across the lid, and I'm just going to really pack that onto the inner corner. Really pack that on and just blend it in with what I've already got going on. Yeah, I like that right on the inner corner as well. And again, like having that on the inner corner and then blending it up through the crease, I feel like you get more of that duochrome quality to it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of mascara on the lower lashes and then we are done. If you've made it this far, congratulations, give yourself a pat on the back. This will, I am certain, will have been a long video. I feel like I have been sat here filming for hours. I mean, the sun's gone down in the time that I've been sat here, so that's something. There we go. So this is the finished look with Cosmic Beauty Sinister palette. Those duochromes are honestly something very, very special. I always think that the duochromes from Cosmic Beauty is beautiful. it's always incredible, but I just think that the undertone of that Eerie shade, that lightest one, I think that that is very, very special. I love that. I'm not sure on the lips. I'm not sure on the lip products. Honestly, I think something maybe a little bit more berry toned would have gone really, really nicely with this. But this is what we've got. It's almost like it's leaning a little bit sort of terracotta-y, like a brown. I just don't really wear a brown lip, basically, ever. But this is the finished look. I love the eyes. I love the eye look. I'm thrilled. So that is my final thoughts on the Sinister palette and the other products that came in the mystery bundle. The blushes I think are beautiful. The formula is so, so nice. Really, really creamy, really easy to blend, more pigmented than I was expecting. For some reason I'd got it into my head that it wouldn't be that pigmented. It definitely was. Like, approach with caution. You can always add more. Doesn't feel sticky, like it's blended in and set down really, really nicely. I'm very excited about the lighter shade. The purple one I'm not so sure, just because I have got a warm undertone and I feel like that will look more like a bruise on my skin. But the mid-tone and the lighter one, 100%. The lip, I'm interested in seeing what other shades they come out with in that. The shades that are in this aren't necessarily my favourite, but interested in the formula. I was definitely scared when it said that it was a matte formula, but I've had this on for like 20 minutes and it doesn't feel dry. It doesn't feel like a matte lipstick. It feels lovely. I like that a lot. And the palette. Again, when I first saw the palette, I thought that it was going to be a grey toned palette. I don't know why I thought that, but like if you actually take out these two, it's not. Like, it's purple, it's pink and it's red. I really, really like it, and I do feel like it is different even in my collection. And I've got a lot. I don't have anything quite like that. The duochromes are beautiful. The mattes, of course, are incredibly pigmented. I would love to know, are you going to pick this up? Did you pick this up on the pre-order? I would love to hear whatever thoughts you've got down below, but I am thrilled with the eye look. The lip, I'm just not sure that these are my colours, and the blush I love. But that's my thoughts, and I would love to hear whatever yours are down below. If you want to see like a palette bingo and like more looks and things with this palette, then be sure to subscribe, because that will be coming incredibly, incredibly soon. I will be doing more content around this palette, I am certain of it. But I think that's all that I wanted to say. If you made it to the end of this video, give yourself a pat on the back, go and make yourself a big cup of tea, treat yourself, you're a superstar. Thank you ever, ever so much for watching. Bye.